Hey, how you doing, Anthony's fishy friends? Yo, 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 yo. How's it in Cali today? It's probably a little warmer than it is here today. It was 20 degrees this morning when I took Bolo for his walk at 4 a.m. And it got up, though, to about 41, so living on the wild side. Living on the wild side. Guppy boy, what's up, Jesus? Great having you here. William Pridemore's here. Pridemore's fishing more. Hey, how are you doing? Here with Bolo is here. Hey, Jeff at Valley Fish, what's up? Enjoying some delicious Nestle Pure Life. Ah, that's good. What's going on in your world? It's there was this old song that my parents liked. It was by a group called the Eagles. The man who had himself carbon dated to prove he's only 25 years old. Peter Thiel, exactly true. So this old song that my parents liked, Hotel California by a group called the Eagles. Hey, very good, Jeff. Drive carefully. You can lurk. Lurking's good. Well, Bolo's getting down now. All right, there you go. So, and it was talking about the process of going into a prison of your design. And we all do it. And sometimes that happens with our beloved love of fish. Because you have to feed them, you have to do water changes, you have to, whatever you do there. Now, obviously, in life, humans, they have to do something after they're done working or when they're retired. They have to have some interest outside the office. When you have interests outside the office, well, it allows you to decompress, allows you to focus on things, except for, instead of the stupid person that did something in a meeting, etc. Alishon AS, the Eagles, Doug Peterson's favorite band. Yeah, that was too bad, wasn't it? JETS, Jets. Since Rich Kotite went from the Eagles to the Jets, maybe this is Doug Peterson, except Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl. Rich Kotite, in however long he was a head coach, never won. Brienne Farrell. You don't. If you have an open wound on your male betta, just let it heal. Is it in a place where it's being picked on, or did it get in with another male betta? Muppet. Oh, he has ick now? Oh, yeah, get some Ick-X. Ick-X. And get it pronto. He was by himself? Okay. Well, if it's ick, pick up Ick-X. And Edgar Reyes, what's up? Hola, buenos dias. Mi español es terrible. All right, come on. My dog. It's Bolo. Well, if it's got ick, yeah, you need to take care of it. Rich Kotite's firing led to Bill Parcell. You see, there you go. And after Mr. Hess died, the big tuna was out of there. Hey, Jim Walsh, how are you doing, buddy? Yeah, ick X, if you've got like ick on your betta, yeah, treat for that. It's yeah, that would be my thoughts. There are people who may have different thoughts than mine, but that's what I would do. How big of an aquarium is it in, Brienne? You hear Bolo barking? Okay, hold on. Oh. I got close to him, then he decided to run over and jump in my lap. Don't even ask me. And here he comes. Up, he's down. Sean, what's up? Yeah, I would do X. What size of aquarium do you have your betta in, Brienne? Some people may have some different thoughts on this, but I think my advice is relatively good. Betta with a wound, ick. Betta's alone. How often are you changing the water? How much do you have a sponge filter? What type of filter do you use? Yeah, tuna led to Belichick for one day. And the Jets have been butthurt about that ever since. That they lost on Belichick. But let's face it, Tom Brady got it better from Belichick, didn't he? He went in. They're in the playoffs. They played well the other night. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Rico Stan? What's up? The raspberries. You know what I had in my smoothie this morning? I had a smoothie for breakfast, trying to eat well, except for this last weekend where I ate like a pig. Okay, Bolo wants to be fed. Hold on. I just took him out for a walk, so I don't know what the deal is here. Just killing time, trying to cook a bit. Rapashi. Do you know what? I haven't used Rapashi. I know people love it. Adam K, what's up? Hey, appreciate stopping by and saying hi. A Rapashi smoothie. Yeah, you see, there you go. I made a smoothie with super greens, Greek yogurt, and with a little bit of honey, and yeah, super greens and dragon fruit with water. And let me just tell you, it was pretty good. I didn't realize what. Have you ever had dragon fruit? I'll tell you why I got it. Probably the stupidest thing in the world. I was at Target and I was picking up a couple of things at the old Target, and out of the blue, I'm like going, okay, well, I need fruit for my smoothie. And so I go to the fruit thing, and my freezer is pretty much full. So I couldn't get something big. You know what I'm saying? And I will tell you, hey, D, down the wormhole. And it was, I'll tell you what, the dragon fruit stuff, I never had it. I don't even know what the heck it is. It was good. It was good in my smoothie. Normally I do blueberries. Sometimes I'll do raspberries or, or a mixed berries type thing. If I can get sliced strawberries, I use that too. It's all good. I feel like $100. So, Ali, Sean, you use morning wood and soylent green. What are you feeding with that? What type of fish are you feeding with that Rapashi mixture? For whatever reason, I got it, and it was in a different. I was living in a different city, and just went from there. You want a hand of Buddha fruit? Dragon fruit, generally one of the strangest fruits. There, it looks crazy. Then the inside is completely different. This was already in the freezer, already chopped up into Rapashi size squares, just to be honest with you. Oh, that's in your smoothie, the morning wood, the soylent green. Hey, see, there you go. And that's Bolo coughing. I've given him his medicine, so he shouldn't be coughing. So, yeah, it, the deal is with, with that is trying to make things as efficient as possible. And we all have to focus on stuff that's outside of work. My goodness. And of course, everyone here loves fish. And so fish is a big deal. Collins, Critter Cave, what's up? Welcome to the live stream, Monday night. That's not COVID. By the way, does anybody get self-conscious? They're in the store, all masked up and everything, and all of a sudden they have to cough. All of a sudden you go, or you sneeze. I had to do that the other day, and I just felt like, and people were looking at me like I was nuts, or I had the COVID, whatever. A Dorian Gray smoothie in a mirror. Oh, it's like red fruit, green spikes. Then you cut into it. It's all white with black specks. Those are seeds. I have COPD, so yes. So yes, it's had. I left the house 3 times since last March. See, there you go. I go out of the house. My office, we're working, so I'm at the office. They have never done a full lockdown in Missouri except for that 3-week pause. And then during that period, my company had, barely minimal staffing. And that minimal staffing always included me. The guy I was in contact with, like 2 weeks ago, came down with COVID. He returned to work today, which is great. He looks great. He feels good. So that's good news. He's already done with it. So it's just, you retired a few years ago, but still do some consulting. Luckily, it's all online. You see, there you go. Yeah, for a while there, I thought I wanted to become a consultant. And I have a buddy of mine who, his whole deal is he works on companies on messaging and presentation. You just do it to pay for your hobbies. Good for you. And it's actually a neat deal. You were consulting Doug Peterson. Lost that gig now, I guess. It depends on your Eagles contract there, Doug Gray. By the way, I went and made the move over to like one of these bottles you put the baby brine shrimp eggs in, or the baby brine shrimp once they hatch. Boy, why wasn't I doing that a long time ago? That's great. I love it. You have the spray bottle there, and you just spray it into the, not like a spray bottle, but like a mustard bottle. And you just squeeze those brine shrimp into the aquariums, and you go around and you watch the fish dive for them. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable all the way around. But, I thought for a while maybe doing that type of consulting, because you're dealing with a marketing consulting type of thing. You go into large companies, you go through and you do, in companies, they go through weird things. Sometimes they have those people in-house, and sometimes they outsource them. Being outsourced is pretty good because you just go in and you sort of break things down for them, and then you have so many hours of conversation a month. It's I appreciate, by the way, when you go into like a place like Walmart and how they do stuff, and Target and Home Depot and how they put stuff. Pretty cool. Lumpy Dog. You've got a meeting with the Bobs. Yeah, you see, there you go. Be a rebel. Just be a rebel, and the Bobs will go from there. By the way, if you've not seen Office Space, it's time to watch it, and mainly because we've all been in offices like that. Yeah, just tell me you don't care. Whatever. It's okay. Rather work at Applebee's. Jennifer Aniston's there. Yeah, it's by the way, when companies go in and they're efficiency experts, I dated a gal for a while. This is like 20 years ago. And she was like in law school. And this is like a relationship I really screwed up. I should have figured out how to wrap up this deal. Father was the president of a beer brewery, and the mother was an organizational chart consultant for companies. So the mother would go into companies that figured out they were having duplication, or things weren't working well as far as communication in the building, and she would go in and spend 5 months, 6 months sitting in a company just saying, hey, why are you doing it this way? Why don't you do it like this, and this? Why are you talking to that person? And that person, why aren't you talking to, that type of stuff? Pretty fascinating. But companies, like people, do things out of habit, because that's how people are. That's how we go through. It's like you have an aunt at Christmas, always makes the pies. You've got an aunt at Christmas, always makes the green bean casserole. You know what I'm talking about. Well, the same thing happens in the fish room. We all go in and we do our, we go in and we do our thing. And we have our certain, traditions that we do and all this sort of thing. That's one of the reasons why I say, hey, this is how I do it. And if you do it differently, it's successful for you, great. I'm not here trying to change the world. That how I do things in my fish room is absolutely the best, because it's not. I've seen people who have much more together fish rooms than I do, who have a lot of stuff going on. So there you go. And so that's what's going on. So let's see. I had my first. I've had a real good run of shipping fish, never losing fish. And unfortunately, I shipped off some fish. I won't say who, but I sent fish off to, and it's just I sent fish off, and they didn't arrive. It's day 7, and they all arrived dead. So it's so yeah, it's not good. By the way, is the chat working? I may have to zip over here and open up another YouTube, because I haven't seen anything pass in a while. And because we've just had that, where there was a couple of weeks ago where we had some sort of a real issue with the chat. And let's see here. Let's go to my channel. And maybe okay, now it's working. Just listening. Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah, day 7, and yeah, it was not good. It was just and yeah, so lost the fish. So I'm gonna make we're gonna send him some more fish. In a month or two. It probably shouldn't have done. It shouldn't gone out last week at all. So yeah, I'll tell you what. You look at Aquabid, and there are times I look at Aquabid and I go, "Wow! Oh, I need that one. Oh, I need that." Glad the chat is working. That's one of the big things with yeah, oh, my Fishroom project. Yeah, here's the deal. I have to get somebody to help me with get some stuff in there. There's a guy who's been helping me on a regular basis, but he had something bad happen in his life, and he's been unavailable. So there you go. Get your pea puffers next weekend. Get out of the house. There you go. Armed protesters are coming for your mutt guppies. Luckily, you have guard kittens on duty. Hey, what's up, John Oliver? Cardi B's available. Is she available? Or is she back together with that Offset gentleman? That Offset gentleman seems like he has something going on there. He's got a good career going on. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's I'm all in on finding great, looking at Aquabid. Forget about it. I'm there all day. I can look there for hours and hours and hours. Just go from listing to listing. It is. I am guessing that Aquabid for you is like it is for me. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. It's a big temptation all at the same time. Yeah, so here's what's going on in my fish room. I've got to get my guy who's been sort of my helper, because I can't carry in a giant rack by myself. I need somebody to come and help me. So I have to recruit somebody at the office to help me out. So I'll get that done here. Hey, what's up? What's up, Melvin? Great having you here. Man, the water's good. Good water. Yeah, so the process. Yeah, I've got to pick up the rack, rent a U-Haul, get it over here, have the buddy set it up. So I think I have a guy at the office. I think I'll talk him into it. Offer to take him out to eat. As part of the deal, and get a rack set up. And I'll get some aquarium set up on it. I've ordered a lot of stuff for it, so I've got like my sponge filters. I ordered those. It takes a while to arrive because they come from Asia, Hong Kong. David Samsel mentioned that he was busy during my last several streams. It's okay. It's not like, hey, thank you very much, Anthony. Hey, it's by the way, Swordtail Guppies, if you don't have Swordtail Guppies, you ain't living. You ain't living all the way around. They are the best. Yeah, the other problem is I have the cell number of the guy selling them, so might get a discount. Yeah, it's not good. That's gonna put Sean. That's gonna push you over the line. Yeah, those swordtail guppies, Rico Stan, they're pretty good, aren't they? They're good-looking fish. I hate pushing them on people, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, everyone should have sword. Yeah, I'm glad you love them. They're good-looking fish. Very colorful, very active. They reproduce well. They're there are 11 now, and now all the females are gravid. Oh yeah, you're gonna have 35, 40 of them like that. It's yeah, swordtail guppies are awesome. My favorite Pleco, because it's the only one I'm working with so far, is the Super Reds. I think they're fun. I like them, John Oliver. Alishan, I know, likes the L333s. But what else do you guys like? Oh, shell dwellers, yeah. I'll tell you what, I was not. My other guppy tank exploded after I started BBS. There's probably 80 fry in there now. Yeah, that'll happen. By the way, I was not. I didn't quite get the whole shell dweller thing. I heard people talking about it. I saw videos on it. I went into a fish store in Little Rock, and bingo! Wow. Yeah, green dragon, super red, zebras. There you go. Some albino bristle nose. L134s, Ali Sean. Yep. So I'm gonna have to look those up because I'm just like, all right. Oh yeah, those are nice. Leopard frog pleco. Yep, they're gorgeous. And yeah, those are gorgeous fish. And you're working with L30 135s now? Yeah. It's our buddy Tom Ender of Tom's Aquatics. It's Jeff, let me know when's that thing in in the Quad Cities? I'm all about going out and getting going down there because I believe our buddy Tom Endler is going to be there, and I want to get those leper frogs from him. Man, he's got a lot of cool stuff. I've exchanged notes on things, but he's kind of coy on them, kind of coy all the way around. And so yeah, to go out and do that. I love table sales, by the way, gang. If an aquarium group is doing table sales near you, go. Fish joke, kind of coy. It wasn't on purpose. Tom from TM Aquatics is an incredible Pleco resource. Help me plan a few parts of your fish shed. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's really a good guy. He's a fan of the Minnesota Vikings, so it makes he's even a better guy. I've been debating getting more into plecos. I've only been working with the bristlenoses, but I'm wanting higher and higher strains. Yeah. John, I'm in the same place with you. Select Pet, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. Great having you here. L046 before the export ban. Yeah. Big J's Fish Keeper. What's up? What is up? I had to plug in my I have this big paranoia. I'm gonna tell you one of my weird. I've been told two things having to do with batteries. That batteries only quote unquote have so much of a life. And you shorten the life by two things. Number one, overcharging them. And number two, charging them and uncharging them, going back and forth. So you have a laptop, so you're just going, well, what's it? So I usually charge up my laptop, then I let it discharge, then I charge it up again. That's sort of what I do. I'm not, a little crazy. Got your new phone, loving it. My phone arrived Friday, and the phone case arrived yesterday. Ah, the Samsung. Yeah, I have the Samsung. I love it. I think it's great. Batteries came from the aliens. Well, yes, they did, and so much. Yeah, it's excellent select bet. Yeah, thank goodness for rare earth minerals. It's not real pleasant how they get the rare earth minerals, like using forced labor with children and stuff like that, but they're great for the batteries. There's like only a couple of places on Earth that they have these rare earth minerals, and how they are getting them out of the ground is, yeah, it's criminal. But yeah, the batteries are much better. Just texted Rick. I'm apparently buying 3 species instead of 1. Huh. Rick seems like a nice guy. Might be the name. So it's my current laptop is just about 2 years old. It's I've always found that like I always get a cheaper box. I never get the high end because I do a lot of audio work and a lot of video work and stuff like that. I have like a gaming laptop. I have the Acer Nitro 5. Yes, it does just fine. Yeah, no, it's you know, we all want to talk about everyone wants to talk about having green energy, and I'm in favor of it. Everyone wants to talk about all those things. David Samsel, what's up? You know what, Rico saying I don't play games at all. I got the gaming computer because it has a larger processor, larger stuff, because I do a lot of stuff like I do a lot of video and audio production. So that's the deal. Um, so what was I just lost my train of thought? Oh yeah, so the whole thing about green energy, I'm in favor of it. I've actually talked about getting solar panels on my house. I've talked to a solar company. I I kind of like the idea of it, but it's not green as far as the batteries, all the different things that go into it. To put them in there creates a lot of environmental damage. Yeah, I don't know where Chewy is. It's I don't know. It's he may be hanging out with some heavy metal band. Uh, yeah, and it's like that. You're right. So it's just and so the idea comes in is that there was a book that came out, and I can't remember what it was, or I read an article or what have you. And this guy went in and sort of laid down. So you want to get a hybrid vehicle. When does it become, uh, carbon neutral? And the guy said at 80,000 miles at that point. This is probably 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. That if you got you know uh, a Prius or the variety, there's a wide variety of those vehicles. Um, the process of getting to the point where how much the carbon footprint to make the batteries, to make the stuff is so high that they eventually become green, carbon neutral, and go from there. But you have to get a lot of usage out of it. So it was like with the Prius, it was like 70 or 80,000 miles, something like that. Once you got back, well, yeah, it began to help the environment. So we have to sort of weigh out what the truth is, and it's just saying, well, isn't it great? The power comes from the wind. Okay, that's great. I love it. How many raptors does it kill? How many bats? How many? So there you go. Subarus are very green vehicles. They all have grass growing through them and never moving. VB23. Platties are dope. Yeah, they certainly are. Yeah, Enrico Stan, I'm not going to argue with you, but I do think that people they get, uh, and trust me, it's, my car was in the shop, and I have a Kia, which is, high end. And my car went in. They said, "Would you like to try a plug-in Optima?" Your car's gonna be gone for your car's gonna be in the shop for 2-3 weeks. My car was in the shop for a total of 6 weeks, and I loved that. It was great. I was just amazed at it. I thought it was great. So there you go. And my Kia's gerbils. No, do you know what broke on my car? The speedometer. It died. All of a sudden, the deal went in. They just said they had not seen it before. They had to actually wait for the harness to be shipped to the dealership. Then they had to send off both harnesses because they had to match, the digital stuff. They had to match the digital stuff, so I was driving on the same miles and that type of thing. It took 6 weeks. So, hey, I'll tell you what though about the Kia is that I get around town, I get about 35 miles per gallon. It has pretty good juice in it. Is pretty good, pretty peppy. And I'm not out there trying to impress people. I'm just trying to do what I can. You have a Kia too, D? There you go. And I like it. It's fine. But when this vehicle becomes old and I have to trade it in, I'm going to get a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid. I like the idea, but the process is that, and I like technology and I like all the latest stuff. That being said, I think that people get this thing in their mind that, oh, if I put solar panels on my home, I'm helping the environment. Eventually you will. And so there you go. And so I actually have had a deal about the solar. They want, hey, Mike's Aquatics and Things. How are you? Yeah, and this is a pretty good place to put solar because I'm in the absolute southern part of Missouri. I'm in 40 miles away from the border. Or an hour away from Bentonville and stuff like that. And so the idea, this is a pretty good location. My yard has almost no trees. Perfect. I did get a bid, which I thought was, really? It was a lot of money. It was a lot of dough. But, I was told, by the way, with these things, and I don't know what you've picked up, is that I was told make sure it's a roofer and that they guarantee the roof. Because they put it on your roof, and let's just say they screw up something, you want them to go through it. And I'm told if you all of a sudden get, Doug Gray, it was nearly 40 grand to get the solar panels done. Yeah, Select Pet, that is a deal. Except the hybrid vehicles, depending on what you're getting, if you're looking at a hybrid SUV or a crossover, totally true. You're absolutely correct. The deal is with the Priuses are now at a price that's not that much more expensive. And yeah, it's, it depends on how you drive, etc. I was not real high on the Prius's deal, but I worked with a guy, and we had to go somewhere, and he drove, and I just fell in love with all the tech junk in it. The tech junk is really, really good. It's like for people who have saltwater, I've seen some of that high end saltwater equipment where actually it pays attention, and it makes all sorts of sense. Yeah, David, the whole thing about the railroads is this. And here's something Americans don't get. In Great Britain and most of the countries in Europe, the trains are run by private companies, and they're profitable sort of deals. I lived in New York City, in New Jersey, and I went over and took New Jersey Transit in, at least a couple of times a week, depending on what time I left. If I left my house, I was going into the city. The company I worked for would pay for the patrols, they would pay for the trains, they would pay for all that. I drove into um, if I left before 6:45, lived just across the GW Bridge from Manhattan in Hackensack. If I left before 6:45, I'd drive into the city. If I left after 6:45 in the morning, I would drive to Secaucus and take the train in. Yeah, well, and by the way, I love the railroads. Don't get me wrong, but the deal is with them, they don't move you around fast or conveniently. And, at least for me, I'm all about convenience. Oh, that's interesting. So your company you got certain discounts. Yeah, well, that'll do it. Um, I did see that Corolla has a hybrid. I haven't seen it personally, but I saw the deal. But again, my car is a little over 3 years old, has 40,000 miles on it. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have it for 10 years and 125,000 miles. Unless something goes really bad, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. So Bolo's here, right here. You can see his foot occasionally will pop up. See his foot right there. A little leg. Little leg. He's giving you a little leg hair. Yeah, the LIRR to New York, then use the subway. The office that the company I worked for had was in Midtown at the Empire State Building. So you'd take uh, you take the New Jersey Transit. Oh, that's a Long Island Railroad. You take New Jersey Transit into the city, and it was like 5 blocks to get to the Empire State Building. So it would be longer just to do that. So I went and did that walk. Yeah, so Bolo's here. He's all passed out, going in right from there. Um, yeah, yeah, the whole process here of of going in. Um, it's funny is that the fish stuff has gone back. You know, Sponge filters and box filters. That's old technology. It still works really, really well. I mean, it works great. Yeah, it's yeah, there are days that I miss New York City, and there are a lot of days I don't. I do not miss the traffic. I do not miss the hustle and the bustle. I do miss the people. People are really pretty good. New Yorkers, they have a reputation for being rude. They're not rude. They're direct. So there you go. And being direct isn't a bad thing because you know where you sit with them. There's a cartoon that came out with puppets, so it's like win-win, talking about how to be a tourist in New York. It's a very, very funny, and it's totally true. Totally true. The puppet leads you through, talking about the pizza snobbery in New York. That's a big deal. Yeah, you see, I've not heard of Hecwi and Lolopi, which you know, yes, my Pleco knowledge needs to be upped. Needs to be upped. So, Doug Gray, who is the next coach of the Eagles? No filters, just snare stone with plants. Works for me for some tanks. Yeah, and sometimes that works just fine. It's the one thing I have not done, and I'll give you sort of like a guppy keeper sort of paranoia, is I've not done the dirted tanks. Mainly because of guppies, you don't want fin rot and stuff like that. Um, it's I've not been tempted to. I know people, there's a lot of people that do the dirted tanks, like Lucas and like Father Fish. I know some people have one or two that they have up and they like them. I just haven't gone through there. $280 or grand. Oh yeah, those are nice looking. It's kind of like a Julie. Yeah, it's a nice looking fish. Yep, like Tanganyika. Yeah, it's a good looking fish. Yeah, and that's my deal is with it. Doug Gray's. I just don't think it's good for the guppies, for their tails and that type of stuff. It just I get it. There are certain people who just love the doggone things. And maybe if I did a dirted tank, which who knows? As of right now, I would tell you no, I'm never doing a dirted tank. But you never know with this hobby. I never thought I was going to do freshwater shrimp. Now I love them. They're great. Ooh, you get to interview Bob Kaler tomorrow night. There you go. Make sure you ask him about Walmart and the ladies. Yeah, I'm going to look that up. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. It sounds very. It's great. Just a tip. Speak very slowly. His hearing is iffy. Hey, Anthony, he's back in the house. He was the first one here. See, that's the way it should be. Oh, yeah, the Shelleys. I think that's a species-only tank. Yeah. I'll tell you what. The wonders of Shelley's. I didn't think I'd like them. Now I kind of like them. Yeah, boxers with hearts on them. That's what you wear. Yeah, the thinking is, Select Pet, is that dirted tanks, especially if you're trying to get, show guppy level delta tails, that a dirted tank or even substrate in a tank can lead to fin rot. How often that is, I don't know, but that's one of the things that's talked about quite a bit. So it's so they actually say use a bare bottom tank, bare bottom tank, bare bottom tank. Now it's since I've not worked with it personally, I don't know for sure. All I know is that this is what the guppy thing is all about. Well, you know what? Is Elvis dead? Probably by now. How old would the guy be? God love he'd be in his 80s at this point. So if he was still with us, and and he obviously was not a picture of health. Yeah, he would be 86. So yeah, he's dead. He's now dead. So that's sort of the deal. Yeah, it's a sad day. So I talked yesterday. We got a rep from Mars, parent company to API. Great talk. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess the Hawaii Guppy Club. There you go. Yeah, I'm just telling you from my deal here, Select Bet, is that you know I hate to say this. I don't want to come across as some people who call themselves experts on the guppies and stuff like that. I follow the advice of the International Fancy Guppy Association with how I do my guppies in my breeding tanks. I do have some substrate in, like a 55 and a 65-gallon tank, but the rest of it, I don't. And there is none in my guppy tanks. Gary Jones, not to be confused with Davy Jones of the Monkees. Yeah, Davy Jones has gone the way of Elvis, I think, as well. And I think they found cocaine in him at the end there, which is not good. Drugs are bad, people. Guppy boy, if you're still here, drugs are bad. Have fish. Fish, good. Drugs, bad. And let's see here. Davy Jones. Okay. Yeah, I believe he died. I think he got kicked in the head by a horse or something like that. And let's see here. Let's see. Death. Went to tend to his 14 horses in Florida. Riding one of his favorite horses around the track, he played chest pains, difficulty breathing, rushed to a hospital, pronounced dead from a heart attack. And so there you go. And so there you go. So that's neat, Sean. A fake noodle. I'm impasta. Did that make one of your videos, Doug? That's probably one of your Fallout ones, right? What rock group has 4 guys that don't sing? There's a lot of groups like that. But go ahead, Mike, tell us. Impasta. Mount Rushmore. Hey, there you go. Doug, I like the frog joke about needing a operation. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Well, we were friends, Mike, after that joke. Yeah. For guys in a rock band that don't sing. Mount Rushmore. But there's a lot of rock bands that don't sing all that good. God love. Oh God, I'm going to start something now, but I'm going to do it. We just have a few minutes left. All right, here's a band that the singer doesn't sing all that well. In fact, the guitar player sings better than the lead singer of this band. The Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones. Yeah, Geddy Lee didn't have the greatest voice in the world. Yeah. The Stones, yeah. It's Keith Richards has a much better voice than Mick does. Where's Chewy when you need him? He would settle this. I got dates when I was younger because women would tell me that I looked like Mick Jagger. I'm skinnier and a lot of lips. So there you go. Well, gang, thank you very much. I am going to be feeding some zucchini, not cucumbers, to my fish. Knock, knock, Peter. All right, go ahead, Rico Stan. Knock, knock. Who's there? Let's see. What concert only cost 45 cents? Go ahead. In the operating room, the surgeon is saying "Come Together" cover by Aerosmith. 50 Cent featuring Nickelback. I Eat Mobb. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I don't think Carrot Top has anything to worry about. All right. Have a good one. Really appreciate it. We'll see you this weekend.